Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today for your Saturday, it's going to be a match between Ample and Soma here on Ascension. Bottom left, our orange Terran. It is Ample, who took down Shuttle earlier this week. And on the bottom right, it is our purple Zerg player, it is Soma. Been trying to get more Soma replays, especially against Terran, because he has a very particular style that I haven't seen anybody else use. He just uses Mutalisks and Zerglings very, very well. No lurkers, nothing else. No Ultralisks, just Mutas and Zerglings against Terran. It makes it look super overpowered, but if that were the case, then we'd see every single Zerg player use it against Terran, right? Okay, so this is an RJB replay. Man, scroll speed is a little bit... Anyway, maybe the edge is a little bit different. I'm not entirely sure. This is Ascension. It's got a, a fidget spinner type shape here in the middle. And let's see here. Expansions at the top. Pretty easy to wall off, but a lot of area for dropping. Ramps that are wide. And a lot of high ground. So I kind of feel like this is a balanced map for TVZ. Maybe a little bit of an edge for the Terran player. Right? Right. Oh, this is a three-player map, isn't it? Okay, so this is a main. This is another main. This is your natural. And these are the expansions. Okay, so super duper hard to wall off every single one of these. So Zerg says, no problem for me. Everything is Q. Alright, man. So, alright. Well, kind of feel like it's pretty balanced for Zerg versus Terran. So we will see. Scouting out. A hatch first into an extractor and then a pool. Risking it a little bit here, but you know, everything's fine. Barracks coming up. Is that a command center first as well? Wow, okay, Ample. Ample's feeling feeling frisky here today. Going for the command center first. Supply depot and barracks gonna help with that wall. It's a fairly big area to wall off. It's kind of annoying, but not too shabby otherwise. Second supply depot coming in here. And a lair at 250. Alright, so we're skipping link speed. My goodness. Oh, you know what? He scouted it. The Overlord came in, saw what was going on, said, okay, I don't have to worry about an attack for some time. I don't need speed. I'm not planning on being aggressive with my lings. I would just need speed for defense. So I'm going to go for a super ultra mega fast lair. And maybe go for that spire timing faster than the Terran player expects. But check this action out. Now coming in, Ample. Oh, the block attempt. Can't quite get it. But does come in, sees the lair timing that it's already on the way and says, oh, okay. Yeah, I guess while we're still doing this, I do want to mention I'm feeling a little bit under the weather here. So, I don't know, I'm casting this on October the 11th. So, hopefully I wake up tomorrow and everything's fine. But right now I just have some post-nasal drip stuff going and a little bit of a sore throat and some grossness going on that way. But hopefully maybe it's just a temporary thing. It's going to be temporary. I'm not going to have this until I die, but you know, about once a year I run into an illness that just completely takes me down. Like I lose my voice or it's really, really ragged and it hurts a lot to cast and I have to take some time off, which is fine. That's why I have the buffer. But hopefully that's not what this is. I've been social distancing, man. I work from home. I don't go into an office. I don't go places all that much. I pick up my groceries and people at the store just put my groceries in the trunk and I don't have to interact with anyone directly. And I don't know how I got sick. I guess it's my kids. They go to school. They bring stuff home, probably is how that works. Anyway, Mac opening here from Ample, which I was trying to communicate to you by showing it to you here if you're watching it instead of listening. But some people do listen to my cast. Some people do put it on in the background while they work or while they do the dishes or, you know, other kind of relatively mindless activities as work can be. But yeah, that is an ultra fast spire. But see, like the SCV sees it, the SCV dies, but got the information that it needed. So engineering bay, actually we're just going to use, oh, this looks like a Goliath play, doesn't it? This is just going to be Goliaths instead of Engineering Bay missile turrets to deal with ye old Mutalisks. Getting an Engineering Bay anyway. Alright, fair enough. It's a little bit late if you're trying to deal with the mutas, though, because you really want the turrets coming up when the mutas are in production, and guess what? They're on their way now. And by that I mean there's no Mutalisks in production at all. I'm just going for +1 attack. Sweet. Third base is about 60% complete up in the top right for Ample. And yeah, this is against the Goliath opening, which we've seen wreck large numbers of Zergs. Oh, is he supply blocked? Oh no, Ample. Ample is supply blocked. Okay, that hurts. That's going to slow down your ability to win this game a little bit. There's Charon boosters on the way, and as we always say, Goliaths do half damage to Mutalisks, but they have so much range, they get free hits off on the mutas. Is he... I don't know what Soma's doing here. He's got a couple Mutalisks, but he's not making a bunch. His production tab is drones and overlords, and maybe he knows that the mutas aren't going to be all that effective. These are more, I kind of feel like scouting mutas more than anything else. But he sees the turrets, and he sees the Goliaths, and he says, okay, this is not ideal Mutalisk positioning for me. See, Marines are good, but the difference between Marines and Goliaths are Goliath range, especially with Charon boost, is humongous. Ah, drone goes down, but Vulture dies. That's probably a fair trade, I think, for the Zerg. He shouldn't worry about that too much. Meanwhile, more supply depots over here on this side of the map. But yeah, if I sound a little less loud than usual, I'm trying to take it a little bit easy on my voice and a little bit easy on my throat here. So forgive me for that. But we're working on additional Mutalisks. So there we go. So now Soma's doing his Mutalisk thing. Is he getting plus... Look at that. +1 just takes forever. Is all it is. So +1 takes forever. The Goliaths are moving out. They don't have any plus upgrades. They are working on armor. And Vulture speed. That's not for the Goliaths, though. And they have Charon boosts. So let's do this thing. Let's see what the defense for Soma is going to be. At this point, it's entirely mutas, because I don't think there are any lings out on the map at all. Like, the minerals have been going to drones, which is why we have 37 of them at this stage of the game, even though he rushed super fast for a lair, but no lings at all. Gonna make this a little bit dicey. Sunkens are pretty good in this situation, but we've seen players, I mean, such as the Russian Avokat take down Jaedong with his very strategy of a 2-base Goliath rush before. Did he seriously back off when he saw a Sunken? I don't think that's enough of a reason to back out just because there's one Sunken. Man, maybe Sunkens are amazing against Goliaths. Seems like an option. Zoom out a little bit. I've had some requests recently to do a little more zooming out. It's just the sounds go away when you zoom out. Like, proximity to the units for the observer counts for volume from the stuff that you're looking at. It's an interesting quirk of the client. I don't know why. But yeah, now the mutas are trying to jump on in. And good split here by the Goliaths. I kind of like them, but oh my gosh, this is a lot of mutas. This is at least 12, and they've got +1 attack, which is fantastic. Oh, Muta goes down as they're trying to retreat away, but they feel like, I guess they whittled down the Goliath count enough? I don't know what these guys are doing. Maybe they're regrouping a little bit? Sure. That could be what's going on here, is the regroup. The Goliaths are trying to kite. Man, Mutas are definitely going down here. Yeah, I mean, you can hear them. I don't know if this is target firing or what, but... Okay, that was a pretty good victory. 79 to 74 total supply. Ample has a lead. That Mutalisk is totally dead, but we're coming back around. And the Goliaths have that +1 armor, but the Mutas have the +1 attack. So it's like, and in this situation where you're not benefiting from the range because the Mutas are right on top of you, Goliaths are not benefiting from the advantage they have against these Mutas, and the Mutas are winning hardcore. So, okay, it appears that you can handle that push with straight up Mutalisk. Which, once again, it's Soma. How surprised are we that he made a ton of mutas? The answer is not surprised at all. Working on a starport, and actually going for some Hydralisk upgrades. So maybe this is going to be a game where he feels like, oh, this Vulture Harass is great. Oh, he's got Burrow, though? I love that. So Burrow against Harass is pretty fantastic. Drones are fighting. I like that. Burrow again. Oh, drone goes down. Vulture goes down. So 3-basing Zerg versus working on a 3rd base now, Terran. He is continuing just to pump Goliaths. He feels like this is his winning strategy, which, okay, maybe if we have a Radiate available it'll be more effective, which is why we see the starport coming up. I actually got a mechanical keyboard the other day. I was just like, I don't know. A lot of people swear by mechanical keyboards, and I was mostly just annoyed by how loud they were when my coworkers had them when I was working in an office. So I got one to see how it is, and it's loud. I'm kind of having to train myself to tap the keys a little bit lighter so that it's not crazy loud, and I think that's working so far. We'll see if I keep this or not. I can return it, but do we need to? Yeah. Alright, so let's see. 4th base is here for Soma. And a lot of stuff coming up here. Faster Overlord movement, Hydra attack range, missile attack upgrades, Flyer Carapace, Ground Carapace, Siege mode coming in, and more Vultures on the way. So more traditional mech is now coming out. The Goliaths are going to be part of a larger composition rather than just going straight Goliaths. And the Mutas are going to be part of a larger composition rather than just going straight Mutalisk, which is how this game has to go. You can rush. Like, every race has the ability to win with a single unit and nothing else, but the longer the game goes on, the more that's impossible. Like, the more it's just not a thing. You have to have other units in your composition if you're going to win if the game goes past, 12, 13, 14 minutes. Most of the time. So the Mutas, just really, honestly, do not give a care about these turrets, and the repair is not helping either, because this is a humongous chunk of +1/+1 Mutas, working on +2 Carapace. It's not there yet, but it is going to deal a lot of damage mitigation from the turrets, and my gosh, the SCVs are getting massacred in this position. Mutas backing out again. There's still 12 of them here, which is a good number. 50 to 52 workers, though. And the Zerg player is doing great on his economy. Hydras are basically, I don't know, are they trying to threaten this 3rd base, or are they just looking for spider mines? This is an angle you can attack into this base, and there's only 1 tank here. Now there's 2 tanks. Now there's 3 tanks. Okay, it's getting a little bit more dangerous if you're trying to attack this with a Hydralisk-style army, which it seems like is happening. But the Mutas are back. Well, they decide that it's too many Goliaths, and we're going to fly out and try to heal up a little bit. Yeah, but yeah. So if it was just Goliaths here, I think the Hydras would trade pretty well, but 3 tanks sieged up is going to be an issue. So the Hydras are going to stay a little bit back, take down some of the anti-air. And then the Mutas dive onto this, decide they don't like what they see. Back the heck on out. Hydra group up north, just trying to deal with these Vultures a little bit. These Hydras and this Sunken going to deal with the Vultures if they try to come through. This is a narrow choke too, which I don't know if they want to do that. Oh no, they're going to go up and down and around. But once again, they're just going to run into Hydras wherever they try to go. Soma's defensive setup here is pretty darn good. And the Mutas chasing down the Vultures is difficult because the Vultures are fast. The Mutas are fast too, but the Vultures are zippy. I think I looked this up recently, and Vultures are faster than Mutalisks if the Vultures have their speed upgrade, which is, sure. Speed upgrade should make things fast. I think that's fair. Overlord down. 145 to 147 supply. A bit even on that front, which is okay at this stage of the game. Ample is taking a 4th base along the southern section of the map here, and the Zerg is maybe... Oh yeah, tried to expand up here, but the drone got sniped. See, blood splatter analysis. That drone got sniped. This drone is... Oh, tried to expand here too, but there was a spider mine here. So now can finally start on that 5th base, which he's wanted to start for at least 30 seconds, which 30 seconds can be a big deal. It can be a really big deal in this game of StarCraft where everybody is pretty well even in skill. I mean, relatively speaking, right? Queen's on the way. All right, 12 Overlords coming in. Someone's decided he never wants to be supply blocked ever again, which is what I feel when I make 10 Overlords at the same time. Or 12, I guess. Ow, spider mines, though. Spider mines and siege tanks are the Hydralisk's worst possible enemies, so they back the heck on out. Up to this high ground, which is not, like, easily detectable as high ground, but it's definitely high ground. You can see it. The difference is more stark here and here, right? Mutaflock, again, just making personal angry visits to missile turrets right now. Oh, then they get irradiated, and the split is not great. Oh, and a second irradiate comes in, and the split is, again, not great. So, these mutas, you know, armor doesn't help against irradiate. Is that +2 Flyer Carapace not done yet? He only got the 1? I might have looked at that just at the wrong time. So it is just 1-1 Mutas, and they are getting their butts handed to them a little bit here. However, there's only, there's 4 of them remaining. There's nothing else here that can shoot up, so they're trying to whittle away at some of these tank counts and vulture counts and whatnot. And the queens are here, but they don't have a ton of energy yet, because queens need 150 energy to throw a spawn broodling down, which is what they're here for. And Ample is just on a rampage. On the other side, these Mutas and Hydras trying to whittle down this tank count and maybe take a base down, but reinforcements do come in. Defender's advantage kicks in. And it's 154 to 147 supply. Terran has a lead, plus he's meching, which is not a good sign. And we're going queens. How many times have we seen queens work on the channel? The answer is about 3. That was pretty good. But you'll notice there's still a bunch of mech here, and a lot of the supply in the army for Soma is tied up in these queens, which are utterly useless except for once every bajillion seconds when they can throw down a spawn broodling. So it looks like Ample is just well in hand. He just has this game ready to rock. He takes down a hatchery. Soma is expanding up to the top side to try to compensate for the loss of this base. But I mean, look at this. Look at how many bases Ample has. He hasn't lost anything. He's lost some SCVs, but he's up 62 to 60 right now. This hatch going to go down. The tanks do have +1 attack and +2 armor. The Hydras are at +2 attack and +1 armor. The Hydras are kind of pushing down. Is this going to turn into a base trade style scenario? Seems possible. Is there anything more satisfying than taking down hatcheries as a Terran player? Not many things are, I would say. But yeah, having this high ground. Oh, that's beautiful positioning here. Can you just see that? Oh yeah, you can just see that. I guess the science vessels are providing some additional vision here as well. But wow. Okay, so the queens are coming in for another round of let's make your tanks turn against you temporarily. I don't know. Desperately coming in from the left side with these Hydras. Defensive Matrix is up on one of these Goliaths anyway. These queens are not ready. They are so close to ready for another round. If they could, I mean, even if you can take down the tanks. I mean, okay, so sure, the tanks are out. The broodlings aren't doing much damage here, but now can the Hydras engage with these Goliaths? And the answer seems to be probably yes. So these are just YOLO Goliaths at this point. They give themselves 0 retreat vectors at all, and kind of trying to keep these queens alive a little bit. At least I haven't heard many queens die here thus far. Ample hasn't done the greatest job of dealing with those. But Goliath down. Is this boxer maneuver shenanigans? I feel like it probably was. 54 drones remain after the boxer maneuver shenanigans, quite possibly. But another Irradiate gets tossed down. And a very easy to split off Mutalisk scenario here. These have not been previously plagued, so your, 2 Mutas are probably not going to be enough to kill them. However, hold on. Maybe 2 more hits. One more hit. The Muta has to stop. Oh, Hydra's picked it off. Very nicely done. Getting a science vessel is great. Just like killing a Defiler is also great. Hydra's in defensive position to deal with the Vultures once again. And Soma really only lost this right side base, so it's 145 to 152 supply. Really great back and forth. If I mentioned this is an RJB replay, check him out, RJB TV. On the YouTube search bar, let him know that Falcon sent ya. He provides me with the best replays, man. RJB replays are never a disappointment at all. He knows his StarCraft. Very, very knowledgeable about the game. Probably more than I am, actually. So a Hydra drop. We don't see these a lot, but it's a Hydra drop inside the main base. I'm going to adjust the screen scroll speed, I think. Something has happened here. Alright, guess what? More tanks are here, though. So have you killed a lot of tanks? Yes. Have you killed all of the tanks? No, because they always keep coming back. Nice unsiege to prevent friendly fire splash from killing that tank. The Hydras are kind of getting cleaned up here inside the main base. They're repositioning themselves a little bit. Queens come in to pick off a couple of these tanks so the Hydra attacks can continue on. A little bit better anyway, and actually forcing Ample to come back home is amazing. That is just a great win. Oh, look at these broodlings chewing away with their 4 damage per attack. They're basically workers, but the repair does not work out. Oh, SCV finishes off. SCVs finish off 2 of the Hydralisks that were part of that drop. Those are strong. Those are strong SCVs, man. So Ample hasn't expanded for a while, and I feel like Soma was able to get up some new bases and retake the one that he lost. So I think Soma's doing just fine here. Spider-Man's getting cleaned out. He is up 165 to 124, so that number will tell you a lot. Tanks, excuse me, tanks are definitely being, I don't know, tank count's being dealt with, I guess is what I want to say here. Man, dealing with mech with Hydra Muta Queen is an interesting strategy. Queen's coming again, tossed down. Man, the tanks are gone. I think that might just be the door swinging shut on Ample's chances to win this game. Oh, there are 4 tanks on this high ground. Can they hold against the Hydralisk onslaught? I guess they can. Hydras are squishy, man. Broodlings chewing on a siege tank down here. Nom 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 nom. But this base not coming up for Ample is a huge problem. Vultures are trying to get some damage done on the other side of the map to compensate with the fact that he's down about 20 workers, maybe 15. But there are just always Hydras coming out all of the time. 3 siege tanks with +2 attack are going to be just fine against Hydras, even if, you know, said Hydralisks have +3 attack and +2 armor. But more spawn broodling coming in, and this has been some of the best use of spawn broodling I have seen on the channel, and I think this is going to be a win. There's your GG. Ample taps out, and Soma is your winner. The guy who I knew just as the Mutaling dude proves that he can use queens more effectively than, like, anyone. Maybe not anyone, but we've seen literally Queen fail with this before. We've seen so many players fail with this before. We've seen Hero try it. We've seen Queen do it back when he was going by 0. And, you know, it's worked. It has definitely worked a handful of times. One of the more epic games I've ever cast featured this working. And sure, in the end, the Hydras are a pretty good complement here. The Hydras doing very well against the Goliaths, against the Vultures. So interesting composition. A lot of Mutalisk play. Definitely a lot of Mutalisks, but towards the end here it turned into a Hydra Queen style. And once the tanks are gone, the Hydras trade extremely well, especially if they have their upgrades against everything else that Mech is rolling with here. So, beautiful game. I mean, just a fantastic game. This push that was over here that killed this 4th base of Soma's and then set up on this high ground and was threatening the 3rd base at the same time. But the Queens came in, saved the day. The Hydras cleaned it up. And then from there, the Hydra drop that was a really cost-efficient drop, killing a ton of units that kind of had to trickle in through these narrow gaps to get them. And then more spawn brooding on the tanks that were there to deal with them helped the Hydra drop continue even more. So officially, no Terran bases died, and 1 Zerg hatchery died, and usually that's going to be an indication that the Terran won, but just beautiful micro and macro out of Soma. I don't know if he got out 200 supply or not, but he was making the best of what he had available and got that win. So end of the day, 21 minutes and 25 seconds. We got 165,000 points for Ample, 179 for Soma. And outproduced, not by a whole lot, but this isn't a traditional TVZ, so there weren't any lings made, so this number's going to be much different for sure. The kill-death ratio, even in that case, is just not enough for the Terran. He killed about 50 more units out of, what, 470 produced is just not ample there from Ample. And then resources here outspent the Terran by about 5,000, which again, traditionally not enough, but lings are so cost inefficient. Hydras are more so. Queens can be so, and Mutas can be more so too, and that's exactly what he made today. I don't think he even ever got ling speed. I don't know if he made a single Zergling, honestly, in this game, which is very weird for a TVZ, but very, very fun game nevertheless. And yeah, that's going to be it for me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.